Welcome to the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine weekly newscast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dave Sadler, as always, from the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, with this week's news. Firstly this week, Pictish Stone expert hails discovery of a real whopper. A metal detectorist, interestingly, was out and about in Elgin in Moray, and he found a stone which has apparently been discarded by builders. The stone, which is 6 foot long and weighs at least 2 tons, appears to be engraved with Pict markings, and although it is yet to be verified, experts say it could be an important find. Now, the Picts populated the north and east of what is now Scotland from the late Iron Age to the early ages. The purpose of Pictish stones is not yet understood. There's lots of theories, etc. And the markings are unique in this case to northern Scotland and are seen as cherished artefacts of local history. Beautiful design, as all Pictish carvings are, and it actually looks like there's a bird at the top of the stone, and then a rectangular shape plus lots of other markings on it. Very, very interesting Pictish artefact. So again, as I always say, please go online and look for, in this case, the Pictish stone found in Elgin by a metal detectorist. Fantastic. Big news in the UK this week is Hadrians Wall Roman graffiti being found. That's 800-year-old markings that have now been recorded by, if I'm not wrong, archaeologists from the Newcastle University, who are currently producing a 3D record of the writings. The graffiti marks made by Roman soldiers near Hadrian's Wall are being recorded before they weather away. Inscriptions in a quarry at Gelt Woods near Brampton were made by Romans who were repairing the wall and were discovered in the 18th century. Now, one of the inscriptions that they found reads, and I apologise for my Latin, Apro et Maximo Consvlivs Officana Mercati, which translates as in the consulship of Aper and Maximus. These were consuls or diplomats for the Roman Empire in early 3rd century AD. One of the archaeologists at the site says it may depict an unfortunate accident. They found a pristine relief of a man's head and body, the name Gaius, and an arrow pointing downwards. Is this a story about a fellow soldier falling off the quarry cliff? Or is it ancient equivalent to a presentation slide showing workers how to get to the stones to Hadrian Wall? They've also been found a carving, which was probably the largest news in this respect of the graffiti, of a phallus, which was a good luck symbol in Roman times. Not very good luck these days. It's a difficult job for the archaeologist, who had to suspend 9 metres or 30 feet down the quarry face, and are being pushed and pulled into position by safety experts. Now, Mike Collins from Historic England said these inscriptions at Gelt Forest are probably the most important on Hadrian's Wall frontier. They provide insight into the organisation of the vast construction project that Hadrian Wall was, as well as some very human and personal touches, such as the caricature of the commanding officer inscribed by a group of soldiers. Ian Hayes, one of the professors of archaeology at Newcastle University, said these inscriptions are very vulnerable to further gradual decay. This is a great opportunity to record them as they are in 2019, using the best modern technology to safeguard the ability to study them further. Beautiful carvings, as I always say, find them on Google. Over to Canada and Halifax in Nova Scotia, which I keep promising myself to visit. I've got a very good friend, filmmaker Paul Kimball, who lives in Halifax, who's invited me over numerous times after working with him in the UK in the past, and it's always been one of my ambitions, no matter what anybody thinks about it, to visit Oak Island and take on one of the tours there and maybe discuss things with the Laginas or anybody else involved in the current projects that are ongoing at the site. I was lucky not long ago on the Old Metal Mode UK to discuss at Coke Island with author Randall Sullivan, who is he's recently had a book released on Oak Island. I think it is called The Curse of Oak Island. A very, very instructive and down-to-earth gentleman who gave concise, rapid answers, and left me with more questions than I had originally. Anyway, moving on. A secret vault has been unearthed beneath the heart of power in one of Canada's oldest cities, but experts are confused as to why it was there. It was found in the grounds of Canada's longest-serving Parliament building, Province House in Halifax, Nova Scotia, just metres from where politicians laid down the law. Archaeologists are mystified as to the purpose have been unable to locate any plans or blueprints that even hint to its existence. The discovery was a complete surprise to the principal archaeologist, April McIntyre, who've not been able to find any record or any maps or images depicting the structure or location. One of the images shows an entrance way to the vault, and to me it looks like an old well, circular entrance way with old stone around it, and there's an additional stone platform alongside it. Very, very interesting nonetheless. Obviously they claim it to be from the late 18th or early 19th century. All indications are that it was a subterranean structure with no superstructure. So very interesting times over in Canada, and I'm saying that jokingly this time, over in Canada, in Halifax. As I say, somewhere I would love to visit, especially to visit a good friend of mine. Over in America, the very, very well-known Alcatraz has been a bombshell shock discovery made beneath the famous prison island. We all know Alcatraz from the films, we all know Alcatraz from folklore, and it's one of the main places, I believe, of people visit, of tourist attraction in the USA. A team from Binghamton University unearthed a secret 19th century military base beneath the infamous Alcatraz prison. The group used high-tech radar and laser scans which revealed an array of historic remains, including a bomb-proof earthwork traverse. The group also found a vaulted brick masonry tunnel, said Timothy De Smet, who led the study. He said the remains of these archaeological features just centimetres beneath the surface, and they were miraculously and impeccably preserved. Now, wouldn't that have been interesting if the prisoners had tried tunnelling down and reached that in the past? Now, Timothy led the team. There's been a large geophys recording of the island, and it's going to be continued to be looked at, and it will hopefully be involved in an archaeological dig of consequence to try and unearth the remains of the structure. Finally this week, it was a press release was sent out regarding the 2019 Detectable. Detectable, which is organised by good friends of ours at Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, the Metal Detectives, along with Leisure Promotions, have announced its sponsor for this year. Minelab have been announced for the third year as the title sponsor. Minelab are one of the world leaders in metal detecting technology. They'll be the title sponsor at Detectable 2019 from, importantly, September the 13th till the 16th in Oxfordshire, UK. For those of you who don't know, Detectable is an annual event created to bring the world of metal detecting together on over 1,000 acres of land, with 600 acres of undetected land in this case. This marks Minelab's third year attending the event and the second year as a title sponsor. Minelab is thrilled to return to 2019's Detectable. Our participation for the last 2 years has provided a great opportunity for us to meet both new and long-time Minelab users from across Europe, says Ben Harvey, a Vice President General Manager for Americas, Europe and Russia. The entire Detectable team works tirelessly to produce the best experience possible, and we're all really excited that we're able to deliver this year. Detectable have grown from a gathering of UK detectorists to include groups around the globe, manufacturers and traders. The event features entertainers, caterers and a large amount of land to detect. More information about 2019's Detectable can be found at detectable.com. And I'm hoping, in fact I'm guaranteeing, the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine will be again at Detectable, participating as a stall holder as we did last year, and in this case we're hoping to produce a second free printed copy of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, which went down a storm last year. So I'm looking forward ever so much to Detectable 2019. For those of you who are interested and would like to participate further, there is a second, or the first of the year, it's called the Spring Detectable, all taking place near Henley-on-Thames. This is at the end of April and is more of a precursory to the main event in September. So again, please visit detectable.com to learn more. I'm Dave Sadler. Thank you all for listening, and I will speak to you next week.
The Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine acts as a hub for information, offering articles from archaeologists, detectorists and other specialists throughout the genre, featuring many links, event info and news articles associated to archaeology and metal detecting. We also offer professional review services and promotion for books, resources, videos, documentaries, gadgets, equipment and much, much more. The magazine is run by the archaeological and metal detecting community for the archaeological and metal detecting community. So come visit us at archmdmag.com, that's archmdmag.com, and check out information from our media section with all the latest content, news from the Archaeology channel, podcasts and the YouTube channels that feature the now legendary Digger Dawn, the Man with the Hat and Archeo Duck, just to name a few. If you would like to offer an article, link or inquire about other services, then pay us a visit at archmdmag.com and drop us a line.